Hello everyone. In today's demo, I will be introducing you to the PragmaEdge B2B solution, that is the Pragma Edge Community Manager. When we say Pragma Edge Community Manager, we deliver good. And what we mean by good is governance, onboarding, operations, and data. When we say governance, PCM provides delegated administration and audit view of changes, and faster onboarding, which provides flexibility at partner and at transaction level. And PCM can handle any kind of data and protocols, be it MFT or B2B. And PCM provides simplified interface for all capabilities and easily configurable business process and workflows. Now let me introduce you to the PragmaEdge Community Manager. I'll start with creating a partner. So onboarding a partner in PCM is as simple as the screen looks. It's just this one screen for you to onboard a partner irrespective of what protocol your partner is onboarded with. For example, if you want to onboard a partner with FTPS protocol, you just simply have to give in your details like the host name, the port number, and if you want to create the user or a directory in SI, you can do it right from PCM itself. And since it's an FTPS protocol, if you would like to add a certificate, you can select a certificate from the list that is already checked in into the Sterling integrator, or if you want to upload a new certificate, you can do it right from here. So be it any protocol, unlike in SI where you have to go into multiple screens to configure each piece of a partner onboarding process, here you just have this one simplified screen to onboard your partner. In the same way of onboarding a partner, you can onboard an application as well. And onboarding an application is no different than how you onboard a partner. We have just separated these two pieces to make it more customizable. And the same way, you can just select your protocol you want to create your application with and just onboard your application. Now, once we are ready with the two endpoints, that is the partner and the application, we can go ahead and build a workflow. For building a workflow, you can just select a partner that you have just onboarded and an application and just select search workflow. Here, while building a workflow, both your inbound and outbound transactions can be differentiated. And when we say data, when we say good, we say PCM can handle all sorts of data. That is, you can add in an MFT transaction or a B2B transaction. For an MFT transaction, you can specify any regular expression as a file name, and it can be as complex as possible. And you can just click on add and your transaction is added. In a similar way, you can add also a B2B transaction, for example, an X12 document or an EDFACT document. You can just simply specify the document type, the transaction, a sender and a receiver ID, and then just add it. That's it, and your transaction is added. Now, once your transaction is added, you can build a workflow. So workflow is nothing but when a file is arrived from this partner, Acme partner, what processing does the file needs to go through. So I'm receiving a file with this particular file name, and I click on rules. Here are all the rules that are already available in PCM, and they are mostly all the generic rules that you typically use in building a workflow, like a source file archive, a destination file archive, or a drop process. Or if you want to do a mapping, you can also use an ITXA and enveloping and translation. So be it any business process that you want to add, you can just simply do a drag and drop of a rule. For example, I would like to add a source file archive. So I can just simply select the rule and just click on add, define the properties, and given the details of the archive location, and just click on save. That's it, and my rule is added. Similarly, you can just drag and drop all your rules, and this is as easy as it looks. So all you have to do is just do a drag and drop. And here, all these rules are specific to this particular transaction. So when we say you have complete flexibility at a partner and at a transaction level. So every rules that you add are specific to that particular transaction only. And similar way, you all this is very simple. So what makes PCM even more stand out of any other B2B solution is you need not go through all of this by all of these transactions again. So if you have already a partner that is onboarded, and you know that the partner's workflow is very similar to this particular partner that you've just onboarded, simply you can just do a copy workflow, select the newly onboarded partner, and just give in the details of a sender and the receiver ID, and just update. That's it, and your workflow is copied. And here you can go ahead and make any customizations or any changes to the workflow. For example, if you want to delete a transaction, you can delete it. Or if you want to add any specific rule to this transaction, you can add it as well. Say I want to add an ITXA translation rule. I can just simply give a map name for this. Say I have a map name called 850 underscore test, and you can specify the number of out cards and variants and just click on save. That's it. So this transaction will just be applicable to this particular partner and this particular transaction. So it will not modify any transaction from the workflow that you have copied. So it is just specific to this. So it is that flexible. And when we say governance, you have complete audit view of every single activity that is going on in the system. For example, you already have a workflow that is being created, and later on you go and delete a particular transaction, or you add a new rule, or you go change a map name. Every single change that has been done to your workflow will be recorded in the activity. So this way you will be able to track and change or see any modifications that are made to the workflows. Now, all the rules that we have seen while building a workflow, these rules are not just fixed. Most of the generic rules have been covered, but any customized rule or a business process that is existing in a system can also be imported into PCM. So it is very flexible, and customizations are totally dependent on a client. Now we have seen how we can onboard a partner, onboard an application, and build a workflow. Now we will see how you can restrict the partner to view only the data that he is eligible to see. By that means delegated administration. We can achieve that in PCM by access management. Here in PCM, you can create groups and users in order to restrict the view. Any user or a trading partner need not see every single information, like he need not see how the workflow is being built, or what rules have been added to it. He just simply needs to see when my files have been arrived, when are those files successful, or have they failed, and if they have failed, why they have failed. So you can restrict a user to just view that information, and that can be achieved with access management. And this piece, file transfers, this is one place where you can see complete information about every single file that has been coming into your system. And all these filters that you see here, using them you can have the smallest detail as possible. Like you can search based on a partner, or based on an application, or based on if a file or transaction was successful or a failure, or based on a protocol. So to the least detail possible, you can actually search your files. So here you will be able to see when a file was arrived, which partner had sent the file, and to which application the file was sent to. And to get the source file archive, also, you need not go into SI. You can just simply click on the source file, and the file will be downloaded onto your system. And what was the status of the file, if it was an inbound or an outbound transaction, if it's an 850, or what transaction was it, the sender and the receiver ID. So every single detail you will be able to get from this particular screen. And not just that, and when you click on view details, you will be able to see the core process ID, the pickup ID, and what was the source protocol, and also correlation values. So these correlation values that you see here are totally customizable depending on what values that you want to need to correlate. And when you click on view activity, here you will be able to see every single hop that your file has been taken, starting from the time it has been dropped into a mailbox till the time it has been sent to the backend application in case of an inbound. And these rules that you see here, these are all added as part of your workflow that we have just seen in the previous step. So, and if a transaction has been failed, you will also be able to see the process where until where the processing has been halted. So start to end, every hop you will be able to see view in this transaction log. And not just that, if there was a failure at any point and you want to reprocess the file, you can reprocess the file from PCM itself. Or if you want the file to be dropped again into the mailbox, you can do a drop again. And if you want the file to be picked up, you can do a select a pickup now. So these and if you want to search, not just this, and if you want to search based on a correlation value as well, you can search based on a PO number or an invoice number, and this will fetch you all the transactions which had contained that particular PO number or an invoice number. And we have also integrated PCM with Watson to get reports based on the data. So we have fed the data from PCM into Watson, and you can ask very generic questions like if you want to see how many active partners were there in a given period of time, you will be able to view that information here. Say these are the partner and how many what were the partner volumes, so you can get that information from here. Or if you want to see how many inbound and how many outbound transactions were there in a particular period, you can track that as well. And you want to see the success rate and failures in that particular period, you can also view that. So all this information that you use here will be very useful to any client in order to track the data. With the help of Watson, you can actually get information. Also, if you want to know the partner volumes for every single transaction, you will be able to get that as well. Or you want to search based on an error type, you want to know which partners are having or what are the maximum types of errors that you have been getting in this particular period, or which partner is having what type of errors and what are the volumes. Say if you want to know a partner who's having a lot of 997s generation errors, so you can track that partners as well. So, and these are just some of the reports that we have been generated using Watson, but this totally depends on how you want to customize or what information you want to get. So this was all about PCM, where we have seen faster onboarding, be it any protocol. We have seen governance to view complete end-to-end process of a file, and a simplified interface. Thank you.